Every men's volleyball program had this week circled on their calendar long before the season ever began. 4 teams still pursuing their dream of being national champions. Welcome to Fairfax, Virginia, an hour outside the nation's capital, where we look to crown the best of the best by the end of this week. It's the semifinals for the National Collegiate Men's Volleyball Championship. Lincoln Rose, along with Jay Hosick, of course, the head coach here at George Mason. And what a week it has already been, but the journey begins right now for teams like UCLA and Hawaii, who had the top 2 seeds.
Yeah, this bracket that we had this week, this is the best bracket that we've seen in over a decade. The right teams are here right now. Long Beach, UCLA, Penn State, Hawaii, all 4 teams, very high caliber, have been in the top 5 in the rankings all year long, then deservedly so. And tonight we are going to see 4 teams get after it to earn that chance in the finals, and it is going to be a bloodbath.
2 teams separated by less than an hour in terms of their campuses make the trek 3 time zones east to collide for a 3rd time this year. Of course, 2 programs with multiple national championships under their belt, but it is the Beach who has had those back-to-back titles more recently, just prior to the pandemic, than UCLA and their unprecedented 19th titles. That cabinet back in Westwood is looking to make it an even 20 if they can get past this Beach team for a 3rd time this year. Easier said than done. Look, we talked about Hawaii and UCLA, the debate who's 1 or 2. Frankly, it doesn't matter now. We have 4 teams, all of them credible national champions.
Yeah, no doubt. And you know, UCLA is not used to a drought this long. That little empty space in their trophy case, that thing has been a little dusty for a little while. So they've been looking at it and keeping it clean because they want to hang some new hardware. And John Spera's looking for that title, no doubt. But Alan Knipe knows how to do it in recent years, going back-to-back a few years ago. Long Beach has got some heavy hitters in all the right spots. It is 2 teams that are very familiar with each other, and there is no love lost between those 2 guys.
As you note, Alan Knipe and, of course, John Spera, the latter this year's ABCA Head Coach of the Year. What careers they have had, and they are looking to guide this next generation of Bruins and the Beach to a national title of their own. Extra special journey for Alan Knipe. He's got some family on this roster as well. Honorable mention, All-American Aiden Knipe, his setter, has the keys to the car at the Beach these days.
Yeah, and you know, back in the day, Alan played here in 1990, the last time that we hosted the national championships. And they lost that year, but he actually won the next year while he was a player. But now he's coming back into a place he's familiar with, and he's going to get these guys ready to go for a big match.
Both these head coaches have staffs littered with alumni who continue to grow this system. Giopani is the 2nd-team All-American sophomore from Cyprus. Started his career in Columbus, Ohio. It will not be colliding with his former program. The Buckeyes knocked out by Penn State 48 hours ago. We are underway with set 1 of the men's semifinals and the National Collegiate Volleyball Championship, live from the campus of George Mason University. And the Beach able to take advantage of an error early on as they strike first on the board.
Yeah, UCLA showing what they've got in the middle with Merrick McHenry, arguably the best middle blocker in the country, and they go to him the first 2 sets. Picked him up on the first one, made error on the second.
From what we've seen so far this week, how much is there to it, do you think, that the team that's already played perhaps in the first set gets off to a faster start, but the team that's had the rest perhaps starts to catch up in the latter sets?
You know, there's something to be said about being a little bit fresher. Maybe your legs are feeling a little bit better, but you've already got a match in your belt. Now all of a sudden you're feeling a little bit loose. You're in rhythm. You're not necessarily coming off of a long time, a long break. I don't think it really matters, though, at this point. I think both teams are good.
So many headliners, so many All-Americans between these 2 squads from the Golden State. Here's Andrew Rowan, your freshman of the year in the conference at the Mountain Pacific Sports Federation, the MPSF. And 1st-team All-American, who's your National Newcomer of the Year, as named this week by the ABCA, with so many talented freshmen that we've seen this season. Able to plug right in. Shane Holdaway with the serve, the senior from Huntington Beach. Boy, Huntington Beach High School over the years has had quite the pipeline to Long Beach State, but they'll give the next point back over to the Bruins.
Yeah, Southern California, a hotbed for both these programs.
Another 1st-team All-American. Tell me when that gets old. Here's Ethan Champlin with the serve. From the right pin in the block. Access initially denied by Alex Knight. That time, a little support from his friend, Merrick McHenry. A pair of All-Americans at the net. It's the Texan who comes through with the big block.
Merrick McHenry, only about 6'5" in height, but man, does he get up there. He touches about 16 feet last time I checked. Up there and hung out, throw that ball down.
Got all of his talent from his mom, Jennifer, a former Texas Tech Red Raider volleyball player in Lubbock, Texas. This will carry, and not able to track it down. You saw a great recovery behind the R1 the other night, as these young men are not going to give up on any point.
No, they know that they're going to have to make a lot of hustle plays, a lot of scramble plays, and that's part of the game. But these two teams are some of the best at it.
So service continues for Champlin, the junior from Oceanside, California. As the service will continue long.
You're going to notice a lot of serves tonight are not going to always be in the same spot. They're going to move it around, change tempo, change location, change speed. It's going to be one of those things where if you're a young person watching this, watch how they serve and what they do.
Long Beach State won those national titles in 18 and 19. The pandemic intervened, shut down the season perhaps before they could attempt the three-peat. If they had, they'd be playing right here. I think a lot of folks forget Fairfax was the destination that year. I know you didn't forget that.
No, it's ingrained in my memory. I was pretty bummed when that happened.
So many volunteers and staffers make an event like this successful, along with the NCAA. As the service from McHenry. He hit better than 800 in the conference tournament, as UCLA continued an unbeaten run against MPSF competition, winning the regular season 12-0 against in-conference foes and sailing through 6 sets past Grand Canyon and at Stanford. Boy, Grand Canyon on the rise quickly, made their presence felt early this week. But we're down to the 4 semifinalists. And a service error will give the point back over to the beach.
Take a couple of rotations for UCLA to get into their service rhythm. Always different when you come into a new gym, different sight lines, different feel. Won't be long.
Here's Spencer Olivier, the second team All-American, taking advantage of a 5th year. Well, fantastic effort from Andrew Rowan, the freshman setter, trying to keep that point alive, and ultimately does, as his efforts pay off.
That's the benefit of being 6'7". You can get up there pretty high and save some balls that maybe some other people can't.
All comes back to bite you when your friend asks you to ride in the back seat of the car. Ito David with the serve. Firing through, getting on top of it again. Chiopanis, the sophomore. There's a couple sisters on that Cyprus Youth National team. I mean, I feel like we could do a 23andMe on all these guys. Just so much volleyball already in their blood. A lot of them with siblings who've had great success across the country and overseas as well.
Yeah, and some of the top players in the country and the world all within a few degrees of separation.
UCLA looking to reclaim a 3-point advantage, find fingertips at the net. One more to get it over for the beach. Good recovery. From the back row into the block, and I think our R1 had a good vantage point on that.
Yeah, he wanted to get involved a little bit. Looked like he handled it okay. Long Beach looked like they were scrambling a little bit there on a broken play. Thought maybe somebody else should have stepped up, but they let Aiden go for it and get loose. Unfortunately, didn't go on their way.
John Speraw patrolling the sidelines. Of course, he led UC Irvine to 3 national titles in his time up the coast. I mentioned our R1 is Chad Zerman, earning the right to oversee this one. Ron Pelham, our R2. Veteran officials we've seen all year and, of course, all week as well. As the Bruins service continues, how easy is it to forget that UCLA lost Miles Partain, their all-everything setter, and they didn't miss a beat. Oh, this will carry over, a free ball. But right there, Aiden Knight makes sure that the Bruins can't just bury it. set from the libero. Gets it around the three-man block. Down 4 points early on. And
what a rally by these two teams right now. Just scrapping on defense, slowing balls down on the block. We're watching two of the best scrappy teams in the country right now. They're refusing to let that ball hit the floor unless somebody is diving on it to get it.
Guy Guinness with the error at the end will give Long Beach State its 6th point. He'll squeeze it between the block and the net.
High power play there, middle blocker. I thought I was going to take it, and he just let it go and let his backup outside take it. It's a good play.
So I mentioned UCLA lost last year's setter Miles Partain, who after match 10 went on to pursue his U.S. beach volleyball dreams, trying to represent the United States in Paris. But enter Andrew Rowan stepping right in. And if you're going to make it this far, you're going to have stories of adversity, but quickly overcoming that adversity. Next man up.
Yeah, everybody was concerned should something happen that he wasn't going to be able to go forward, that were the Bruins going to be able to maintain. He's done a real nice job of keeping this team afloat all year long and just progressing every single week in practice and matches.
Good look in there at the kill from Holdaway. Chiapanis with the serve. That'll be a short-lived service, the punctuation from Champlin.
Yeah, when you're in system like that and you can run your offense at the high clip it's been all year long, these outside hitters are on 2.5, almost third-step tempos. That's really tough. Blockers got to make decisions really fast, which opens up the middle third of the court, the big hitting over the top. It's going to be some high-power octane right here.
Here is the aforementioned Andrew Rowan, again, first-team All-American, Conference Freshman of the Year. Part of that gold-winning US U21 side of the Pan American Cup in Cuba.
Champlin taking out the trash and cleaning it up right there with that overpass.
John Speraw, over 400 wins in his career. In addition to those 3 titles with UC Irvine, another 3 as an assistant and as a player in his time at his alma mater, UCLA. Both these head coaches getting to coach their alma maters. As that free ball will carry wide, and ultimately Long Beach State back within 4.
Nice pick out of the back row there. Mason Briggs doing such a good job keeping them in system. One of the best, if not the best, libero in the country. Doing a nice job. Some of those serves are going pretty fast.
Again, it was Long Beach State who had to play 48 hours ago against Grand Canyon and the Lopes. Lopes claimed the opening set. Then things started to click truly for the Beach, winning it in 4. That set up our great evening matchup, Penn State and Ohio State. Of course, they don't share a conference in men's volleyball, but still very much a rivalry and a fun one to follow. Right now, we have our eyes on 2 California teams. It's UCLA trying to get back in the national championship picture if they can find a way to get past Long Beach State for a 3rd time this year.
Tough to beat a team 3 times in a row, that's what they say.
Tends to be true. Holdaway with the serve. Able to play it off the block. Ethan Champlin under control, elevates and puts that one away.
Lots of ways to kill a ball. You don't have to hit the ball super hard every single time. You mix it up a little bit, make the blockers have to chase you. You see what you can get out of those things.
Now, Ethan Champlin's rocking a little something above the lip. Is that a banana slug?
Great reference right there.
On the right pin, that stays inside the antenna. Good recovery by Godbold, but there will not be a second chance.
No, unfortunately too good on that swing. Both teams seem a little bit out of sorts when it's out of system right now. Taking them a couple points to get back into rhythm here. Just remember basics. Just keep everything simple.
UCLA has at least 1 win against basically any team they were potentially going to see this week except Hawaii. They met once, and the Rainbow Warriors got the better of it.
Big triple block right there by Godbold, Olivier, and Torwey. That's not an easy wall to go around or over.
A little seawall there as Torwi, the second-team All-American from Spain, right in the middle of it all. Battle at the left pin. Found some fingertips, stays playable for the Beach. Back into that block as Simon Torwi again denies and pulls Long Beach State back a little closer in this opening set within 3.
Torwi is so good with his feet. He can go laterally so fast and cover so much ground.
Service error will make UCLA the first of 15, and that should send us to a break. It will. We'll take it as well. We are just getting started in Fairfax, Virginia at Eagle Bank Arena. When we come back, set number 1 continues. Either UCLA or Long Beach State will be playing for the time. That not just fans of these 4 programs, but fans admiring the sport from near and far, able to watch some of the marquee programs in this sport's history all gather here as your semifinalists. Of course, last year, John Spraw's Bruins were just an at-large bid after quickly exiting their own conference tournament. They would ultimately see their season come to an end at the hands of this Long Beach State squad last year in 5 sets. After they would edge past Pepperdine in 4 2 days prior. This year, UCLA and Hawaii have been the top 2 teams, but of course each have their blemishes, including against some of their potential foes this week.
UCLA taking advantage of a little opportunity there, taking Olivier out a little bit, creating a triple block opportunity. It's a good move by UCLA.
So again, McHenry with the serve, your most outstanding player at this year's MPSF tournament. Oh, nice little dummy, and ultimately that sets up the opportunity for Olivier. Hard not to let Torwi draw all of your attention when he rises at the net. But the ball not meant for him.
Keeping your team in system makes the blockers have to take a chance once in a while, and sometimes you make the wrong decision, and that time Long Beach prevailed.
Nathan Harlan will have the serve, the junior. Of course, Long Beach State, their big loss was last year's National Player of the Year, Alex Nikolov, going pro in his own right. Several players have stepped up, including the former Buckeye, transfer now with the Beach, Siapanis. The Beach wants a touch. They'll get it.
UCLA not complaining about one then. They know they got one.
No need to pull out a laminated green card just yet. And Alan Knipe, the 1992 graduate, Long Beach State. The next year, he was the USVBA Player of the Year.
It's a great pass by UCLA. It's a 67-mile-an-hour bomb by Harlan there. That was an absolute cannon.
We might have a new NCAA volunteer tonight on that gun. The other night, some poor individual, of all the jobs you would love for AI to take over, to save the left wrist of a NCAA committee member. And it is a different individual from 2 nights ago. Good rotation, good depth being flexed among our volunteers. From the right side into the block, access denied. One of the 2 Bruins right there, Alex Knight. Godbold
struggling a little bit here early, hitting negative in the first few swings of the night, trying to find a way to get through that Bruin block, and he's having a hard time. That's a big wall in front of him.
Fans entertained here early on. It's UCLA with a 5-point advantage, looking to claim the opening set. Alan Knipe again already with National Coach of the Year honors on his resume as well. Dean Rose along with Jay Hosick, who by description your job actually dictates that you are a Patriot.
By description, yes, that is in my contract. And I try to uphold it the best way that I can every single day.
Of course, you've worked with so many of these individuals, seen a lot of these student athletes as they have emerged on the scene. In terms of UCLA, even a former Patriot has made their way west, now returning. Probably, ultimately, Ayrton Garcia-Dorado probably had some good food recommendations for his teammates this week.
He definitely knew where to take the team for the grinds, that's for sure.
David with the serve, up by 5. And somehow it's a 1-on-3 joust. Somebody's been lifting with their fingertips in the weight room as Chiopani's able to win that joust.
Little bit of long hold there for my taste, but referees let the play go, let the kids play. Point for Long Beach.
That pulls them back within 4. Long Beach State wasn't so sure that they'd be chosen by the selection committee despite their high RPI. They are 4th in the AVCA poll, 4th in RPI as well. RPI tends to be a pretty good indicator. Just never know. I know BYU wishes they had been the ones to have their name called. Grand Canyon, though, deservingly made their way here. That'll just grow that program that much faster.
Yeah, first time for Grand Canyon to come here. Matt Worley's done such a nice job building that program. They're going to be in this dance for a lot of years to come.
Serve for the senior Knight.
Long Beach looking a little bit out of sorts right now. They're kind of looking confused. Not normally going this bad in the first game, but they'll figure it out. They'll write this out. Mason Briggs doing a nice job settling everybody down, keeping them simple.
See if you can tell from his motion, he was a great pitcher growing up. Doesn't mind having the radar gun on him for this serve. And ace a moment ago. Need 5 more points. That time a little changeup. Right down Broadway as Knight with the kill, and that will continue his service. Magic number for the Bruins, 4 points. That's going to prompt a timeout by Alan Knipe, as we'll take it as well. UCLA, your number 1 seed, coming into Fairfax, Virginia, looking to claim the opening set against the Beach. #101st all-time meeting between these two Cali sides. UCLA leads the all-time series 55-45, but when your season's on the line, it's the Beach in their first 3 postseason meetings that has a 2-1 edge. And UCLA trying to level that note. Of course, the Bruins are a 16-time host of the National Championship Week, as recently as last year in Westwood. Long Beach familiar host as well.
No strangers to the big dance. They're going to do a nice job in the future, I'm sure. It'll go back there.
What a great atmosphere it's been over the past couple of rounds. Now we dive into the semifinals later on tonight. It'll be Penn State against Hawaii. As Alex Knight, fresh off the kill a moment ago, continues his own serve coming out of the timeout from Long Beach State. Oh, real tight at the pin, able to get it over. Nice roll, the Beach able to recover. Back to the former Buckeye. Able to work the angle, Ethan Champlin utilizing that 6'3" frame.
Aiden seemed to be struggling a little bit getting the location for his hitters. A little bit of miscommunication on a dig there. UCLA capitalizing. UCLA looks strong right now.
Last time we saw the Bruins in the national championship match, it was against this Long Beach State side. And so Long Beach State was wrapping up its back-to-back titles. Since then, Hawaii's won 2 in a row.
Chance for a point there for Long Beach. And unfortunately, the ball was hit out by UCLA, but they were in the net. Can't seem to buy a point right now. They've been stuck on 14 for a while.
Yeah, I was going to ask, what have you seen in this stretch where the Bruins have started to pull away?
UCLA just makes you play the game. And Long Beach right now normally is very good at that, and they're just struggling a little bit keeping themselves in rhythm and in the system.
See if Knight can take them across the finish line. That one will find some Bruin locks on its way out. The Beach back on the board.
There we go. Just 1 point at a time. Don't have to get 3 or 4 point swings in one shot. That's not how it works. And regardless, you know, this is only the first set of the match. Regardless of the outcome, Long Beach will not go down without a fight.
Yeah, nobody ever seems to just want to play the best of one.
No, never.
Here's Connor Bloom, the standout freshman.
Unless, of course, it's Saturday night and it's 9 o'clock and everybody wants to go out.
Set point coming up for UCLA.
Very uncharacteristic right now. Long Beach State hitting about 143. UCLA hitting 276, probably about 296 now after that swing. At least according to the last stats, that's very uncharacteristic of Long Beach State.
Coleman McDonough, the freshman from Pittsburgh, looking to close it out. Yeah, UCLA hitting .333, $167 for the Beach. And that one in to continue set one.
Good swing by Holdaway, getting up early, letting the setter see where he is, finding daylight between blockers. Shane Holdaway, one of the better middle blockers in the country in terms of the routes that he runs.
Both these teams had to go on the road for their conference tournaments. UCLA unfazed, won it all at Stanford. Long Beach State ousted early against a UC Irvine team that took them 5 sets in their season finale. They were just ready to see a new team once the NCAA postseason came along. The opening set has gone the way of UCLA. 2 programs that have won a combined 22 national titles. One of them will play for yet another 2 days from today. John Speraw, your National Coach of the Year, is confirmed this week by the ABCA. Saw the same beach side earlier this year, back on February 9th. That would be a 3-0 sweep. They would then travel to Long Beach, returning the favor the next day. A 3-1 victory as well for the Bruins, who've only dropped 2 matches all year. One at Penn State, the other one at Hawaii. And we've never heard from those 2 programs again.
Neither one of them. They just fell off the face of the earth and became just has-beens.
One of them will await potentially UCLA in the national championship to exact revenge. But if Long Beach State has it their way, they will end UCLA's season for a 2nd straight year here in the national semifinals.
Yeah, Speraw doesn't want any part of that. You could see him kind of focusing up on things. He's normally a pretty gregarious guy, and he's walking around the gym before the match. He's kind of focused, head down, getting ready to work. Getting some information right now from Andrea Becker. He's kind of getting a little sports psych work over there. But you know, UCLA. What do you say about a team that has so much history and tradition? They're just coming in here and they know what they are up against, and they know that they've got some history of their own they want to make.
I mean, surely John Wooden even won a few matches with the men's volleyball team at some point over there.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, John Wooden's been in that gym in Pauley forever. He probably snuck in a couple of practices here and there.
Was Lou Alcindor a middle blocker, a pin hitter, a libero?
Back in the day, probably.
I know
a
this
libero.
was before libero, and this was side-out days, but yeah.
Yeah, no, and played a little bit of volleyball over the years, too.
All right, so the opening set winds up being convincingly in favor of the number 1 seed in UCLA, 25-16. Again, UCLA, number 1 RPI, ranked 2nd by the coaches. You flip-flop those numbers with Hawaii, either of them would have been deserving number 1s, but access denied early on. Guy Guinness, the middle blocker, lives up to his job description.
Trying to get Torrey going here a little bit. And the first good pass in the set, you usually don't run your middle because you're going to be in system the whole time, and they just kind of clamp that one down.
So we're back to the service of Alex Knight, who helped log several of those late points in the opening frame for UCLA. Battle of the left pin, and that's about as fast of a right arm swing as we have seen so far. It's courtesy Godbold.
Long Beach usually a little bit slower of an offense. That was a faster tempo set pin out there to Godbold on the left side. It's a good play by Long Beach.
Godbold's dad, Brian, played for Pepperdine. His mom played tennis for Idaho State. Finding some fingertips as putting it away, Champlin.
Ethan Champlin, not a giant outside hitter by today's standards. Only stands about 6'3", but he does all the little things so well. Has really excelled as an outside hitter on this program. He's got a very bright future on the pro circuit when he's done.
UCLA 29-2, looking for its first 30-win season since 1995. Beach unable to return.
Merrick and Ito having a little laugh right there. Or Rowan, sorry. Having a little laugh right there after that little miscommunication on the overpass kill.
Safest thing you can say is the All-American.
That's right.
And you've got most of your bases covered out there.
That's right.
Let's see if there's a lift either way. Point for UCLA. Back row attack will be the official ruling.
Long Beach struggling a little bit with their serve received tonight. A lot more overpasses than I'm used to seeing from them.
Tel Aviv, Israel. Guy Guinness, the third-year sophomore. Another tight one at the net. They'll double dip, and that time dunks it down.
Saw UCLA's block go up high that time instead of going up and over at the same time, sealing and penetrating. Long Beach taking advantage of that, shoving it in between them and the net.
So Tiras undeterred by the initial block. Here's the approach from Torwey. Sometimes the laws of gravity hesitate a bit when Merrick McHenry decides to go airborne.
You know, middle blockers are taught to be in the air when the setter's got the ball because you want to run the fastest offense possible. Not everybody touches 18 feet, so he can run a slower tempo, almost like a naked two ball, and still be able to crush it quick.
Got more eligibility to come for UCLA. Redshirt junior. And that's tough. 5 feet back of the net into that triple block. Good communication for UCLA. Able to find the angle in that back corner, tucks it in. Champlin.
Great recycle shot there on that first set to Champlin. He saw the block was already established, goes up and hits it at about 40%, gets the cover back, then goes up, sees an opening, takes it. Great swing by Champlin. Champlin thought he should have had that one, had his eyes on the attacker the whole time, saw the tip coming, just drifted a little bit past him and couldn't reach over to salute that ball back on the other side.
Started to drift towards the pin, no other support in the area.
Yep.
There's the elusive third point for the Beach. And UCLA will reclaim the service thanks to the efforts of Ito David.
Ito has got an absolute cannon front arm and can beat it through most blocks that are not well established. And you just saw a perfect example of that.
So Champlin back to serve. Sotiris hopes to get his side back on track.
Did a real nice job going up, hanging a little bit, letting the block establish itself where it wants to be, and then hitting a cross-body shot there down line. It's a really smart shot by him.
And Sotiris Shiopanis again with the serve now after the kill a moment ago. He finds the libero, Troy Gooch. Shane Holdaway helps Long Beach State put a couple of points together, back within 2.
Great read block in there by Shane Holdaway, just being patient, being loaded, sees where the ball's going. Real good blocking moves.
Giopani's down the net, puts it away. There goes the service as Alex Knight gets UCLA back on the board.
Alex Knight, high flyer, great arm. Runs a real fast tempo to that left side. It's a tough ball to stop.
Are you writing down as much as John Sperron does during a match?
Probably a lot more than he is. He's got a little bit more experience.
Able to find some real estate on that back row. Presumably Coach Sperron just taking down some notes for the next timeout. We're going to see every level of dress displayed by our head coaches left in this one.
It's always interesting. It's great to see the personalities of each coach come through. Some coaches are a little more relaxed. Some coaches are a little bit more strict in their dress styles. Two coaches tonight, definitely opposing styles. Sproul looking very dapper in that baby blue dress shirt over there. Allen looking comfortable over there.
Mishandling the serve, able to recover here. And sent back over by Mason Briggs, the libero.
Super fast right side set. David almost on his fourth step, and that ball's in the setter's hands. It's really tough to defend. The blockers have to make decisions really fast.
Another look. Serve from McHenry. Go back to the right side. I'll go off the block and into touch.
Rowan finding the hot hitter right now. Float serve's doing a nice bit of damage tonight. For you young ones out there watching, you don't have to be the big bomber to be successful. A well-placed, well-executed jump float serve is just as tough to pass. In some cases tougher if you're not prepared for it. McHenry has one of those biggest weapons.
Down a set and down by 6 here in set 2, Long Beach State and head coach Alan Knight. Two programs so familiar with one another. And it's always a safe bet that we'll see them deep in the postseason. Only one of them this year can move on to the national championship after they played for the national title back in 2018. Of course, these two schools often regular hosts as well in recent years on the final stage. Last year we were back in Westwood. Great to be on the East Coast. I think those on Hawaii time or don't mind.
Yeah, they're enjoying a little nice afternoon stroll and maybe having a nice cocktail or two, enjoying this match, getting ready for theirs.
Merrick McHenry again, first team All-American middle blocker with the serve. Merrick's dad played college football both at Texas Tech and Texas A&M. But imagine most of the skill set, as we noted, comes from his mom, Jennifer.
Usually does.
A little joust to the net. And net violation. Again, our R2, Ron Pelham, along with Chad Zerman. Our R1.
Long Beach looking out of sorts again. They can't seem to clean things up, get back into a rhythm.
A rare service error, though we haven't seen quite as much aggressive serving for UCLA. I don't know that they have felt as though they have needed to, as well as they've played.
Yeah, they definitely had some aggressive serves from certain people, but you're right. The float serve is not one of those ones that scares you per se. But right now, Long Beach just they're struggling a little bit trying to find a point, and UCLA is just in cruise control, it seems almost.
UCLA, their most sweeps in a season since 1998, 20 sweeps.
That's a great stat right there.
20 of their 30 matches so far, 31 matches I should say, and ultimately just a bit off with that offering from the right hand for Guy Guinness. UCLA's only gone 5 sets once, but that may be what Long Beach State needs to see to have a chance to get past the Bruins tonight.
UCLA going opposite with smaller middle blockers than the rest of their pin hitters.
Let's serve, carries over. And not sure if he was cleared by the Dulles Airport, but nice little takeoff, been able to nail the landing as well.
With UCLA being in system like I was talking about earlier, those blockers have to make decisions. That Bick over the top, it's so fast. If you make the wrong decision, they'll make you pay.
David back behind the line. Is he able to find a spot? Again, we have 4 line officials here in the championship week. We get to have to go to replay.
That is a luxury for sure to have 4.
And we have several amateur officials as well in the crowd. Maybe some watching as well. On the right side, David took a little too much off it. Over the block. When it's all said and done, Nathan Harlan finds the touch.
Lots of ways to kill a ball. That was one of them. UCLA not rattled at all. They don't care. It's just the one play.
They have not allowed Long Beach State to string many points together today. One more to get it over. Just going to come up. Actually, pardon me, I was already ahead in the count. Alex Knight not concerned. Puts it away.
Putting the free ball pass on the money, creating a 4-pass opportunity. When you're in system like that, real tough to stop. UCLA just firing on all cylinders right now, not making many mistakes.
For the match, the Bruins hitting .400 for the set, 529, 11 kills, 2 errors on 17 attacks. Long Beach State, current set .235, has their match hitting percentage up to .214. Unfortunately finds the tape for Harlan.
Long Beach knowing they're not playing their best volleyball. They got to find a way to win, though. They got to find a way. This is their only opportunity.
And UCLA, this is the first round in which they participated in this year, earning the bye as the #1 seed. Long Beach State played 4 sets against Grand Canyon 2 days ago.
Might have missed a net call right there.
They're going to get a touch off UCLA. This might be our first review. It will be.
It did not look like a touch to me at all. And I think they missed the call on the net on Long Beach
and they
earlier.
may even be able to sneak that look in. We'll see what they ultimately capture on the video.
Yep, DB Sports done a nice job this week. They've got good cameras everywhere.
It's all the same point, so in theory, they should be able to get a couple of looks at 2 possible things to overturn the point on.
Yep, being able to rewind that as far as you want back to the serve, it's quite an advantage. But got to get the call right. Got to figure that out.
You mentioned Alan Knight suited up here as a player. Both these coaches and their assistants, I mean, they're closet to this point. So much of their team colors, their school colors. You hope just somebody has an intervention for them every now and then to clear some of it out.
You know, most coaches, they get so much swag over the years. They kind of have rummage sales for all their friends when they want to go to a match and they don't have anything. They unload all their stuff to their friends and family, and you'd be amazed at how much turnover that happens after a while. But no shortage for sure. Especially at a place like UCLA where if you want one shirt, you get 20.
Again, among the young men in that huddle, his son Aiden Knipe, who we're told really actually fell in love with the sport that his dad had spent his life in when his dad was over in London in the Olympics with the red, white, and blue on the staff. Here's another look.
Yep.
A touch was called.
Yeah, that didn't look like a touch to me. And right before that dig, that's where the net happened from Long Beach, so I'd be surprised. But I don't think there was a touch.
Yeah, we both saw the net move on the exchange prior to that one.
While they're waiting for that next replay for us to see the great story of Aiden on his recruiting trip to Long Beach, his official visit, so to speak. He sat down in the office, and his dad's like, all right, we're ready to go. Oh, here's our other look right here. No, it's not even close. Not even close. This will be easily overturned. Yeah, on his visit, father says, all right, we're ready to go. This is going to be great. And Aiden said, well, wait, you're not going to make an offer to me? You're not going to at least let me feel the feels of coming in on an official visit and getting an offer of a scholarship? And so Dad had to kind of quietly sit back down and say, okay, we'll do this the right way.
You hear about coaches go into the living rooms of those players and how sometimes the moms are tough obstacles to win over. And
would have loved to have been a fly on the wall in those conversations where mom is sitting there at the dinner table waiting for the head coach to start talking and see how she would interrupt him and correct him on certain things.
How do I know you have my baby's best interest in mind?
How do I know he will be safe in your hands? How do I know you'll treat him like a son? All the great stories, all the great lines.
So I think we understand the special year UCLA is having, but I don't think we anticipated how quickly they would sail through the first set. And even right now, it's been a comfortable start, certainly not a set that's out of reach for Long Beach State.
Yeah, Long Beach, they're no strangers to climbing back into things. Long Beach is one of those teams where they're used to playing out of system all year long. That Aiden does not normally run fast tempo sets. It's just not in his repertoire all the time. He's a gunslinger type setter, and he literally puts high balls up 70% of the time, and his hitters can get around him. Here's the result.
Here's our verdict.
After all that, the net call that we saw in the beginning is the reason why they win. But that was the prior call to the missed call of the touch. That was the right call.
Either way, the outcome is UCLA with the point in the serve.
17-9.
I don't know that they needed to go to that net call to see that there was no touch. And that would have been UCLA's ball.
Agreed. Runway's getting a little tight now for Long Beach. They got to make something happen.
That'll help. Service error.
We have a little saying out here, serve the ball anywhere you want in Fairfax, but the net.
See if Nathan Harlan will heed your advice from Ladera Ranch, California. Just wide of the ace he was looking for.
And those serves, as much as you don't want an error, those serves are better than the net serve any day of the week.
You give yourself a chance.
Yep. Somebody might touch it. Somebody might think it's in. You might hit something and it dribbles. You just never know. But when you hit it into the net, no chance for anything.
All right, as much as we talk about the history of UCLA, this is a new experience for Coleman McDonough and his freshman class. How about the ace? Oh, not shy under the bright lights, able to come through.
Coleman coming up with a float serve that danced around a little bit. Chapanis is normally a very good hand passer.
Fourth ace for UCLA today.
Not even done with the second set already. We have 4. It's big.
Joust, a little help from a friend. You had both Champlin as well as McHenry above the tape there. Timeout Long Beach State, as all of a sudden UCLA somehow is 5 points away from being up 2-0. We'll step aside. You're watching live coverage of the men's National Collegiate Volleyball semifinals on NCAA.com. Well, there are several individuals, including a homecoming for that gentleman with the 5 on his chest. As we mentioned, the former Patriot. I'm not questioning his loyalty to his country, but Ayrton Garcia Dorado transferring over to UCLA, now guided by John Spross. So he's had a couple of pretty good coaches in his time.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate the nod. Ayrton, a great kid from Southern California, came out here as a setter. Unfortunately, that was during the COVID year. Once that happened, he wanted to go home, and once he went home, he felt like the place he needed to be was at UCLA, where his dad played back in the day, too. So can't fault the kid. Dad
Michael was a Bruin at the end of the 80s. Well, that's what you want to see when you call a timeout. Long Beach State wins the next point. They'll have some heavy lifting. They need to put a run together, which is just something we have not seen yet in these first 2 sets.
You know, we always say you never know when the magic's going to happen, and we're just not sure where the magic's starting for Long Beach, but they got to find it sooner or later.
Torwey with the serve. An ace. First ace of the night for the Beach.
And first real point scored for the Beach in quite a while.
Some service errors from UCLA before that. And the 6'10" Spaniard. Well, UCLA now just needs 4 more to take a commanding 2-0 lead in this best-of-5 set affair with season on the line. Already seen exits from King, Grand Canyon, as well as Ohio State this week.
What a pass.
Able to put it away. Shane Holdaway.
What a great pass by Nathan Harlan. Just laying himself out, sacrificing his own offensive route to be able to keep that ball in system. That's what you want your outside hitters to do, or your passers. Just sacrifice yourself. Pass first. Hit second.
Great team point. Merrick McHenry, again, once he leaves his feet, has so much margin for error. He hung up there, made an adjustment in midair, able to find space and put it away.
Merrick does such a nice job with his vision, too. Sees what's open. A little bit of hesitation on that one. Didn't know if it was in or out. Unfortunately, made a bad decision and pulled back. Maybe a little confusion with his partner under the side of him.
25-16 is how the first set fell to UCLA. 23-13 at the moment here in set 2. Into the block that time. Defense looking to win the point, but it'll carry wide.
The way things are going, I wouldn't have been surprised if that was blocked in. Fortunately for Long Beach, it was out by just a hair.
Still gives them some breathing room, though not much. Not yet set point. Olivier. Free ball for the Bruins. One more to get it over. Now things settle down, but only for a moment. McHenry dials up a chance to close out the second set. It's set point. He'll do the honors.
Looked like they were trying to pad his stats a little bit there, giving him every set they could. Took him 3 to put it down, but sure enough, UCLA prevailing after a big swing at the end there by Merrick.
Been one of the best hitters in the country all season long. Mentioned hit 800 in that conference championship run. 2-0 for UCLA. Perhaps 25 points away from punching their ticket to compete for a 20th national championship. Can the Beach make them work for it as these two California rivals to none, UCLA, your number 1 overall seed, making the committee look pretty good in what was a tight field this year. Meanwhile, the Bruins, again, they feature the freshman setter, Andrew Rowan, who is your National Freshman of the Year, First Team All-American, but you have no choice but to be Freshman of the Year and a First Team All-American when you have the teammates surrounding him. He has dialed up Ito, as well as his teammates Ethan and Alex as well, all of them hitting well above 500, if not above 600. Already 10 kills for Ito David. Ethan Champlin with 9 kills on 13 attacks, hitting 692 so far.
Yeah, when you got your pin hitters hitting above 500 and all 3 of them are doing it, you're doing some nice things. Long Beach struggling a little bit offensively, only hitting 157 so far for the match, with UCLA hitting 400. That's a little daunting of a stat right there if you're Long Beach. Long Beach looking a little bit confused, a little bit long in the face. They're not giving up by any standard, but you can see right now that the look in their eyes is, we're up against it. We got to find a way to win.
Chiapanis has been the bright spot for the attack for the Beach, but a lot of that I felt like was in the first set early on.
Yeah, he's hitting 538, which you think to yourself, well, that's pretty good. Why don't we put him back in? And that's what they do, and see if he can fire him up to the next level.
It is a must-win, set number 3, a service error for Long Beach State. Now, if the Beach forces a 4th set, I'm going to go ahead and call it a must-win set for both sides. You treat it that way if you're UCLA. You don't want to risk going to that sprint to 15, 5th set with your season on the line.
No, nobody wants that except the fans.
Bang for your buck. Oh, the bang off the right hand of Olivier.
They need a lot more of that right now, and Spencer coming down and fired up, yelling at his teammates. You never know when that magic's going to happen. Is this that moment?
And UCLA for the match hitting 400, Long Beach State 173. On the left pin, that'll get UCLA back on track every single time. Ito David with his 11th kill.
Again, just a cannon of an arm, finding the seam between the middle and the closing middle and the right front blocker. Not a lot of people are going to slow that down.
They split the season series with Penn State. They lost the only matchup with Hawaii. One of those two may be awaiting UCLA on Saturday. That'll be with our friends on ESPN2. Of course, Paul Sunderland, the legendary voice of this game. We'll have the call, taking this one in, doing a little research. Here's the man that Long Beach State fans would like to see terminate a few more balls before the night is over.
No doubt.
Chiapanis. It'll be a short-lived service as Ito David not in the giving mood.
Doesn't even matter who he sets right now. He's just having fun dishing the rock. Just looking at his friends going, hey, who wants the next one? I'm sure they're in between timeouts saying, hey, I'll pay you $5 for the next set. Racking up the dollars.
This is the first season UCLA's had a perfect regular season in conference play since '95. They won a national title that year. In that conference tournament, they captured their first MPSF tournament since '06. They won a national title that year. Let me know if you start hearing a trend in the way we talk about the men in the blue and gold tonight. Right now, even 3 points apiece in the third set.
And 1 and 2 at 2006 was very special for L Skates.
These student athletes will have to take your word for it. At best, they were toddlers.
Yeah, that was the year that they had to win every match going out about midway through the season in order to even have a chance. They were not going to get the at-large. Got into the dance, somehow won the MPSF tournament, and then somehow won the national championship with a team that did not start out the year the strongest as most UCLA teams did. It was a great memory for Coach Al Skates and that team.
A set shy of their 30th win on the year.
67-mile-an-hour bomb.
Olivier will again have the answer. We're level again at 4.
I'm liking the fact that they're responding every single time. They're not giving any runs to UCLA, and that's what they need to do in order to stay in this.
Godbold with the serve, carries long.
A couple of coaching friends of mine sending in some texts. Give some shout outs here variously throughout this set. Don Shaw sent a nice little note. Brad Keller, Dave Hunt.
For the three of you tuning in who don't have Jay Hossick's personal cell phone number, we're going to be posting that again at the end of tonight's broadcast.
You send all the hate mail, please, to somebody else, not to me.
From the right side, maybe some backwards bent fingertips. No recovery for the Beach.
You know, when you're up and you're poised and ready for the block and you're at the peak of your jump and your hands are all in the airspace, blocking is a little bit different. But when you're on your way up or on your way down or flying left to right, man, is it tough to control.
Alex Knight with the dribble, the All-American. Looking to close out his career as a national champion. Hello, De'Aris McRaven. His mom, a junior national teamer for Japan. Sophomore from Honolulu. Says aloha to that one.
Doing some homework there, Lincoln. That's good stuff. You gonna tell me what his favorite side dish is at home with his burger and fries?
Do people have sides with burgers that beyond fries?
Yeah, why not? Side salad, maybe?
Right. These guys burn enough calories, they can get away with that.
Maybe a little fruit, you never know. I mean, can't just have burger and fries, gotta add something to it. Maybe a milkshake. For all my friends out there that know, milkshakes are always better after a win.
Milkshake tastes good whether you win or lose.
That's true. They can soothe the broken heart.
Speaking of beverages, here's Guy Guinness. That's been a constant tonight. Giopanis.
Long Beach keeping up with them. See if they can turn a real point here. They got to see if they can put a couple stretches here together on defense.
This guy was a lightning rod a moment ago, McRaven. Started his career at Orange Coast College, along with a couple of his current teammates.
Orange Coast, home of Travis Turner, legendary boys club coach out in California. Doing a nice job raising these kids up, giving them some good instruction.
Rowan. That'll pull again. Long Beach State back within one. See the libero Mason Briggs step out of your picture, a three-time All-American, the junior. His brother was on those two national title teams. He also has three cousins with the last name Kerr who know a little something about playing for UCLA as well during their time. Not exactly a house divided, but maybe a Thanksgiving divided.
Legendary Walt Kerr as well, a coach for UCLA at one time.
All right, another one of these All-Americans, Ethan Champlin. See if he can get UCLA on a run and a closeout potential set three.
Ooh.
Not made to pay. Off the block, it'll drop wide, and it'll be a point for the Beach.
Gutierrez, a little Ginsu action right there, slicing and dicing, hitting off the side of the block. It's a good play by that kid.
And still cuts right through a tomato.
Every time, razor thin.
I don't know if these are still real references.
I'm sure they're still around. Probably late night TV action.
Giopanis able to tool the block. Bruins back on the board.
Spencer in the right spot, up in the airspace, just off the top of the hands, couldn't slow it down.
All right, here's the one guy serving who could get a net violation on his serve. The wingspan of Merrick McHenry. Kinder, gentler approach. Into the block, it'll drop in for the Beach.
Real nice second contact right there by Champlin. you know, for your team when you're out of system, if you're the non-setter, you got to put up a good hittable ball for your guy. Ethan doing a nice job, put it in front, keeping it high, just a little bit off the net. Great set. Way to give your hitter a chance there.
So Long Beach State is hitting 500 this set. The problem is UCLA was hitting better than 700 before that last point.
Whatever you can do, I can do better.
And no need for a free ball unless you're sitting in row number 2. (11-9) UCLA already in the driver's seat with the guidance of John Speraw. Up 2-0 here in the national semifinals. Winner will meet the winner of tonight's semifinal between number 2 seed Hawaii and Penn State.
First 70-mile-an-hour serve of the night right there. Again, for those of you that know, that if we relate that to pitching, anything below 70 is like a 100-mile-an-hour pitch. You start getting into the 70-mile-an-hour range, that's facing a 105-mile-an-hour pitch in baseball. It is ridiculous how fast that is.
Godbold. Double nickel on the radar there. And UCLA able to handle it.
Rowan saying, here I am. Better pay attention to me. Does a nice job of selling it, too. He's selling the set. He's showing both hands, making everybody think he's going to set the ball, and he throws it down to last second. That's a good way. Good way to sell that.
He's got so many options. Dials his own number. Oh, a line drive is Knight taking names. And another dump. Fool me once, fool me twice. You know how it goes. Andrew Rowan, the freshman.
Adding a little insult to injury right there. Most setters don't dump twice in a row. Rowan saying, yeah, I can do that. It's my turn.
Yeah, the injury was on the previous exchange, but that's the insult. 13-10.
I have yet to have seen a setter do it 3 times in a row. I don't think we'll see it tonight, but you never know.
Able to somehow keep that inside the antenna.
Well, it wasn't a dump, but Rowan hits the 3rd kill in a row, taking it upon himself. He's going to say, hey, everybody, this is my show too. I can set real well, but I can also attack.
Neither of these teams have shied away from top competition on the year. Long Beach State 21-4. And they met each other twice back in February. That was part of a 4-match string for UCLA of Ohio State, Penn State, and then back-to-back with Long Beach State.
Long Beach got to stop the bleeding here.
Able to salvage it. And off the block, it'll carry wide. Able to tool it. And a little meeting of the minds now. In fact, their head coach, Alan Knipe, will call a timeout.
That was a quick 4-point run from UCLA. All started with the first setter dump from Rowan, and then 2 more kills from him in a row, and then a nice dig right there. Getting a little swing out to the outside from Champlin. UCLA is just firing on all cylinders right now, not missing a beat.
A lot of fans that during their lifetime have seen a couple of national titles go the way of the beach. As this year's group trying to claim a title of their own. For UCLA, they know the legacy. For some of them, their family members have worn those colors, but they are trying to end a drought that dates back to 2006. 19th national championship claimed that year for UCLA. Overall, 7 runner-up showings for the Bruins, including when they met Long Beach State in 2018. That was at UCLA.
Yeah, UCLA looking like they're on a mission right now. They want to leave a legacy of their own.
Green Rose, Jay Hosk with you. UCLA up by 5. Just the way they drew it up.
Not many times you see the recycle shot of the backwards turning free ball, but Rowan once again showing his volleyball IQ that he can get a point off something. Long Beach got to find a way here, got to stop the bleeding.
Knight with the serve. They're going to give him the touch. Olivier.
Flying out of nowhere, jumping inside, turning outside with that swing. It's a real good attack, very smart, lots of edges to find there.
All right, spotlight back on Nathan Harlan with the serve for Long Beach State, a must-win set number 3. If they can come back, they'll be greeted with a must-win set number 4.
Great cover.
That time, defense prevails. Of course, it helps when you're 6'10". Torwey able to win the battle at the net.
Not a lot gets by that guy. He's big. Big Spaniard up in the air in your airspace.
Is that the scouting report, Grande?
Muy grande.
Harlan continues his service with some confidence, the ace. Yes, sir.
Not too sure he meant that serve to go that way, but
years from now he did.
Back in the stories, that's right. Hanging out at Shellbacks, tossing back a few with your boys, talking about that one serve that went sideways more than it went forward.
All right, so Long Beach State putting some positives together, and that's going to force a timeout for UCLA, hanging on to a 3-point lead and a closeout possibility here in set number 3.
Yep.
Long Beach State battling back here in a must-win set number 3 as they prompt UCLA to call the timeout. John Speraw and the Bruins not wanting to wait until that lead's completely evaporated. They would just assume close it out in 3, sit back and enjoy a 5-setter in our next semifinal between Hawaii and Penn State. See the fans who have made their way across the country.
All 4 teams travel very well. Lots of fans all over the country for all of them. No shortage of support, that's for sure.
And Long Beach State had to topple 2 days ago Grand Canyon out of Arizona. Starts with your serve, and more often than not, it seems like it ends with Torwey.
Long Beach finding a couple points here. See if they can string a few more together, make it interesting.
Some kisses going around from the European. Fingertips, got him.
Godbold looking like he thought the ball might have gone out, but then realized once it passed him, he was touched. Could have probably dug that ball with his hands.
So you bring back on McDonough to serve.
Aiden Knight checking the lineup just to make sure they don't get called out of rotation. Smart move by the young man.
Bruins up 3. Bruins up 2.
Thunder from down under. Simon bringing the heat. Great pass there by Mason Briggs. Let's Aiden just touch the ball and let Simon do the rest.
All right, this is where you need the run. Down 2, flirting with those latter points. Service error will put UCLA back on the board.
I bet he wishes he had that one back. He knew the toss was a little bit further away from him than he'd like. But he decided to go for it, give it a chance.
There's going to be a video review of that last point. Alan Knipe wondering if that ball wasn't perhaps in. At the very least, he gets a chance to chat with his players, regardless of the outcome. Short review doesn't bode well. But again, sometimes we see that green card come out, and it just gives you a chance to chat with your men, regardless of how sincere you are with whether you believe the call went or run.
Any way to slow the game down sometimes. Lots of ways to do it. Using the challenge replay is one of them.
Serve from the freshman, a good one. One more to get it back over. Free ball at the net. And when it's all said and done, Giopanis is wondering what it's going to take.
You can see the frustration after that third attack attempt by him. He claps his hands in frustration. Doesn't know what he's got to do in order to get a kill against these guys. He's going to have to do more than what he's doing.
Sailing through from the right side, the kill courtesy of Gonbold. Two programs deserving of being here. Again, top 4 RPI. Results on the court this year certainly have backed it up. I believe when folks saw the bracket coming into tonight, all 4 teams were credible eventual national champions here in 2023. Tough recovery at the pin, and that's going to be out. I don't believe Long Beach State ever touched it.
Speraw asking his guys, do I need to challenge that?
I don't think that's one he'll prevail on.
Nope.
Unless UCLA didn't touch it themselves, but this will be a chance for Long Beach State to pull within a point.
They need it. Runway is getting shorter and shorter every second.
Connor Bloom, freshman team all-conference with the left serve. And finds the freshman. May have carried out. Had not been able to bite him on the way out.
Bloom, a serve sub used all year long, has a lot of heat behind that thing. Serves 68-mile-an-hour bomb. It's unfortunate that the net slowed it down just a hair.
We're going to see Cooper Robinson, a redshirt freshman, come in at the net for UCLA. As the serve coming up from Champlin. Robinson talking things over, along with Kaczynski, the Canadian, whose dad Alexander played in the '84 Olympics. Swinging through, it'll carry long. It's another point gift wrap for UCLA.
Uncharacteristic of Long Beach running that big and hitting air like that, but
in 2 meetings, UCLA just dropped 1 set to the beach all year. Something will have to change to deny the Bruins a berth into Saturday's national championship as we step aside. UCLA, the #1 team in this year's tournament. Their bench, who doesn't get to see much action, probably would be, it might be an insult to say a top 10 team.
Anybody, any coach will tell you if your team is one of the best, if not the best in the country at the end of the year, who the second best team is, it's not your opponent in the championship match. It's your practice team. UCLA pretty deep this year.
That serve stays in. A little luck for the Bruins. A free ball for UCLA. Another. Eric McHenry. He'll take it. A little bunny.
Kid's got hops. You know, a lot of these kids are kids that a buddy of mine, Brad Keller, who's listening, recruited. He's watching out in California right now, enjoying this match, I'm sure, thoroughly, seeing the fruits of his labor with the recruiting classes he brought in.
Bruins 3 points away from calling it a night. Don Sperall is your 5th official down that line, and he saw that one was out. And a video challenge from Alan Knipe. That's his last.
Can't take it with you. You might as well use it.
They are looking for a touch on the way out for that ball. Give you another look at home.
Tough to tell from this angle.
Yeah, you're looking for any kind of contact with Cooper Robinson, number 11.
Doesn't look like it's
wide of him.
I wouldn't be surprised if this is a pretty quick turnaround on that one.
Certainly nothing that would be conclusive to the contrary.
And the right call was made again.
23-17 UCLA after winning the first 2 sets convincingly here in the national semifinals. 25-16, 25-14.
UCLA hitting .457 on the match so far. It's ridiculous numbers.
Olivia trying to right the ship. All right, all out of challenges. Now you just need your leaders on the court to be able to step up, including this young man.
Long Beach need to find a little David Blaine. Need a little magic right now.
Giopanis out the left pin. Oh, great effort diving by Briggs to try to keep the point alive, but instead it is match point in the national semifinals for UCLA.
And feel Briggs' frustration there. He got up after that dig that he made, which was absolutely fantastic, and his teammates could not get that ball back over. Feel for that young man.
McHenry to close it out. And the 2023 season continues for Long Beach State, though it is still set point. No room for error. Match point, of course, as well. Nerves not getting to him. Mason Briggs, the junior, with his head coach. Serve from Holdaway.
If you question that kid's desire to win a championship for his team and his coach, that moment should tell you right there.
For a 27th time in the program's history, UCLA will play in the final match of the year for the national title as they look for that elusive 20th crown to take back to Westwood. Oh, in convincing fashion, the Bruins with their first 30-win campaign since 1995, now 30-2. 3 of those 30 at the expense of one of the top in the nation, Long Beach State, who in return last year, after ending the season of the Bruins, see a similar fate for themselves here in 2023. What a year for Long Beach State, but they run into UCLA, who, again, a storied program throughout this season, still will have their hands full with some revenge in mind. They will face a team tomorrow that they struggled with against earlier this year, whether it be Penn State or Hawaii.
Yeah, and UCLA is no stranger to hard matches. Hats off to UCLA, Sperron and staff. They did a nice job preparing, getting these guys ready to go. Long Beach, this obviously wasn't their best match of the year, and they know it. And they're just sad that they don't have a chance to go back out there and play again, because they know they can play better. But that's a testament to UCLA. They pushed them to the brink, made them have to do things that they probably were not used to. But the story tonight was how clean UCLA played, and Long Beach a little bit out of sorts throughout the whole course of the match.
That national championship on Saturday will be on ESPN2, but we are not ready to say farewell yet from Fairfax. In about 45 minutes, we go live one more time here on NCAA.com with your second semifinal between number 2 Hawaii and Penn State. All that coming up next. But for now, for Jay Hossick, I'm Lincoln Rose. Big thanks to our NCAA.com crew. We'll press pause. We'll be back to find out who will challenge the Bruins for the title on Saturday.